crater in the canyon where the meteorite struck. We lived just up the road a piece in a house made out of clay. And when the dust had settled, we found we were in luck, 'cause our enemies were buried, or perhaps they'd run away. So we slaughtered all the cattle, and we drank wine for a week, and we washed off the detritus down in Dead Horse Creek. And the foxhounds quit their barking once the foxes went to sleep. Their masters struck their matches, lit their pipes and breathed it deep. And at the time nobody knew the havoc they would wreak. And they settled their encampment on the shores of Dead Horse Creek. County fair rolled in today. I heard them coming down the street with 1,000 head of cattle and a grand flying trapeze. And the lion tamer warned me as he washed the lion's feet that the acrobats were misanthropes and the cattle carried fleas. Still the people flocked from miles around and packed in cheek to cheek. They pumped the water for the water slides up out of Dead Horse Creek. And my Uncle Jeremiah thought he'd make a buck or two, so he built a little house down there with a flashing neon sign to all the vagabonds and minstrels who came a-passing through. He sold locally farmed berries and dandelion wine. Competition sprang up overnight. You can buy liquor and antiques in that strip mall where the highway passes over Dead Horse Creek. And the foxhounds quit their barking once the foxes went to sleep. And their masters struck their matches, lit their pipes, breathed it deep. And at the time nobody knew the havoc they would wreak when they settled their encampment on the shores of Dead Horse Creek. A year ago, just yesterday, I sat on this very wall, and you asked how can love compete with fortune and critical acclaim. And I loved you in the summer, but I loved you less come fall. By the time spring rolled round again, I could not recall your name. So when I read it in the papers, I could not help but weep. My tears mixed with the waters down in Dead Horse Creek. I was in the crater Monday when I heard the foxes bay. So I laid down my plowshare and went and roused the hounds, and we chased him up the valley and across the King's Highway, but we lost him in the hillside as the sun was going down. So we built a little fire and we settled down to sleep beneath the moonlight glinting off your forehead and your cheek. And at the time nobody knew the havoc we would wreak when we settled our encampment on the shores of Dead Horse Creek. Yeah, at the time nobody knew the havoc we would
Thank you all so much.